What they do, what it is, this is Orion, aka Brass Balls, bringing you another installment of Deep Dive Tape Stash. We are gonna get into a gem, but before we even take a dive, take a plunge, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Orion Hip Hop, where you can peep previous episodes of Deep Dive Tape Stash, along with music from yours truly. Yo, please subscribe, like, repost. I appreciate all my listeners, all my followers. That's what we doing in this Orion Hip Hop endeavor, this channel that y'all always tune in. I appreciate y'all. I got right in front of me a joint that I wish I had in my collection, but I am not gonna front like this is in my colección, porque it's not, but I truly wish it was. And the homie that came to my crib with this tape has a bunch of other tapes that I wish I had, and I'm kind of jealous. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm kind of jealous. And I'm talking about my dog, One Lex, right here in front of me, dog. How you doing, homie?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
You brought a box. The box got gems. We gonna be tackling these tapes on my show. I've only had a couple of episodes where I had Old Head Ed. I had another episode with my dog One Take where he brought the Firm album. So you're like really the third guest that's been a part of this deep dive tape stash thing. And I appreciate you, brother, because you be tapping into the show. And when me and Excess had brought Killer Priest along with Knowledge Born, you hit me up like, yo, I have Heavy Mental on tape, and you sent it to me. I'm like, damn, I should have, if I would have known, I would have put you on. But then you sent me a picture of all these tapes. This one is the first one I wanted to do because Mobb Deep just recently came out with an album, Infinite. I don't know if you've heard it. We could get into that later, but it's pretty dope. And this, just the fact that you have this one is crazy. So talk to me about this tape. What do you recall about when you got it? How you feel about it? What kind of feelings does it give you?
Well, I can't recall exactly how it got into my hands, but I have to say that Mobb Deep, since that first, this specific one that we're dealing here, had my attention. The grimy beat, the way they deliver, you know, it didn't have to be so heavy lyrical, but they definitely executed what they were trying to point.
I feel you on that because Mobb Deep, you know, this is Shook One's Part 2. We were kind of talking about it before we started recording this. It's the lead-off single to their second album, Infamous. And with it being Shook One's Part 2, I don't know if you felt this way, but I was like, where the fuck is Part 1? Where, you know, and it had me search. And in those days, there was no internet. So there was no searching I could do for Shook One's Part 1. It was just like this big rumor on whether or not this song even exists. Did you ever think that?
I don't know if it crossed my mind. I was just like swept by this damn song because it was just, there was nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? Like Mobb Deep truly brought something new, and that's why these are groups that will forever live. When you bring something new to the table, it lives forever.
I feel you. And then, did you see the video or did you hear the song first? Do you even recall which one came first?
I think I saw the video first. I mean, I heard the song on the radio. I don't know if it was on the radio, but I don't think it would have been on the radio, no. Let me not lie about that. But I know I heard it to somebody, and then I saw the video, and then it was over. Like, that was it. I was a Mobb Deep fan from there forward. And I was just waiting for the album to come out.
One of the tapes you have in your collection is Mobb Deep's first album, Juvenile Hell. Did you have that album first, and then this? Or did you, like most people, the Infamous was your introduction, Shook Ones, and then you went back and got Juvenile Hell?
Yeah, Juvenile Hell I got much after that, and I don't remember how I got that, but it was just crazy to know that these two were already causing damage at a younger age, but it was a huge jump into this new Infamous. In those times there were so many young rappers that were like harder than some of the older rappers, like, you know, you remember like Shyheim, you know, Illegal, the Youngstas. There was just so many young kids like ready to rip somebody's head off. But Mobb Deep just took it to the next level with this Infamous.
I didn't know about Juvenile Hell until like maybe Mobb Deep's third album, Hell on Earth, reading articles and talking about Juvenile Hell and going back to Juvenile Hell. It's definitely a way different sound. And the sound of that time, but Infamous, what they did on it was next level. And part credit goes to Q-Tip, who Q-Tip had a lot to do with the production, basically polishing Havoc's sound a little bit more on the Infamous, and that's why you get the Q-Tip feature on Drink Away the Pain. There's even certain things that Prodigy says that I'm like, that sounds like something Q-Tip would say, but just much more thuggish, you know what I mean, than Q-Tip would ever say it. Shook Ones itself as a term is crazy because nobody was using Shook Ones unless you were in Queensbridge. Nobody was saying like, yo, you a Shook One. But now it's crazy to see that, like, I'll see newscasters being like, yeah, and the guy was shook. Police said the guy was shook. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So Shook Ones as a term itself has become, I think that's a very Queens rapper thing. Like, Nas created Omatic, and Ether as a verb is now used. And Mobb Deep clearly created Shook Ones. Whether they borrowed it from their hood or not, they definitely popularized it.
It's just another example of artists that bring something to the table and then live long because they come with not just a different sound, but with these terminologies that now become everyone's terminology.
What's crazy about Shook Ones Part 2 and even Shook Ones Part 1, so Shook Ones Part 1 does exist, but Havoc's verse is more or less the same verse that he kicks on Shook Ones Part 2, whereas Prodigy's verse is a bit different, way different, and it's actually Shook Ones Part 1 is what Big Pun sampled for the song Beware. But Shook Ones Part 1, although it's dope, the beat is grimy. If you haven't heard it, you gotta go check that out, peoples. And as you know, in the description box, I'll have a link for that so you could easily find it at your fingertips. But Shook Ones Part 2 has 410 times that it's been sampled according to whosampled.com. And it's because it's just one of those songs that has so many quotables that have been used in rap records. Like, you got Long As I'm Alive, I'ma Live Illegal, Speak the Wrong Words, Homie, and You Will Get Touched. You got the one that you brought to my attention that was used in Hamilton.
I'm only 19, but my mind is older. Just that one piece, I heard it in Hamilton. I was like, hold up, I've heard this before. And sure enough, I went to see also the show on the movie theater, and in the credits, it says it right there, Mobb Deep.
Yeah, man, and so many other songs have been used, like They Come Around But They Never Come Close To Jesus. We could go on and on. Like I said, 410 times according to whosampled.com that Mobb Deep's Shook Ones Part 2 has been sampled, and mostly sampled to be used in hip-hop songs where they're using it for the chorus. There's only two other songs that come to mind that do this, and that's Wu-Tang Cream, because people like to sample Inspector Deck, his verse, certain parts of it. Nas, whether a lot of the songs that Nas had on Illmatic, people will take these acapellas and take a little vocal, and then that would be the hook of the song. You know what I mean? It's what we do in this hip hop thing. You know what I mean? How we keep the culture alive. We want to shout out to DJ Heron, Clockwork Music, who brought Havoc down to perform in Miami at Lincoln Beard. You were at that show. What was your takeaway from that show?
What's crazy to me is I grew up in Queens, and so that day I had to see, what Mobb Deep was carrying on now that we lost Prodigy, Funny thing is, I walk into the place, and as I'm walking into it, Havoc walks in front of me, and I had Havoc's album, his last album, and I'm like, yo, do you mind signing this? Boom, signature. Like, that was a big moment for me. Immediately took a picture with Havoc, and I have to say that they did a great performance with Rappinoid. Like, it was a great thing, and I'm happy that Mobb Deep still lives on with music. Funny enough is, why would that day I did something that I've never done in my life. I'm like, you know what, let me just take this album with me. And what a great thing that, like, 5 minutes into walking in, Havoc is in front of me signing the album.
That's fire. Havoc is mad underrated, I think, as a lyricist. As a producer, he gets his kudos, obviously, because Shook Ones, this very track that we're talking about, is noted as possibly one of the best hip-hop beats of all time. I can't argue with that. I think what he did on this was, like, very special, and this whole Infamous album is amazing. The Silent Partner is Havoc's best solo album, in my opinion. But what are the tracks in the Infamous album that you like the best?
It's so crazy because Give Up the Goods is such a great story. Like, you can sit there and picture everything they're saying, and you're wondering, how are these teenagers who are straight up street thugs creating these great stories? They're not just rapping to sound cool. Like, and now it's so many years later, it's almost like I love the album even more. I feel like back then I may have skipped a couple of songs, but these days I can't even skip a song.
You gotta let that shit ride.
Like the whole thing, and every song is an experience.
We gonna wrap this one up. Of course, the infamous album was released on Loud Records, and I've said this countless times on Deep Dive Tape Stash episodes. Loud Records was my favorite record label in the 90s. I felt like they brought mad classics. People always talk Death Row, Bad Boy. I think Loud Records was ahead of them. You know what I mean? But let's wrap this one up. Let the people know where they could find you, how they could connect with you, things you got going on that you want to let the people know about.
Thank you so much. So I go by One Lex Only. You can find that in Instagram, One Lex Only. Most people just call me Lex. There's other Lex out there, many Lexes, but it's only One Lex Only. Thank you so much. Really, I'm out here to support this music that we all grew up with, and we hope that it lives forever, another 50 years if possible, but let's keep the roots as strong as possible. Thank you so much, Orion.
Mobb Deep just came out with an album, Infinite. What you think about it? Did you get a chance to listen to it?
I actually have not heard the whole thing. I've only heard 2 songs. Mobb Deep Against the World, I think is the title, or that's the chant. And there's another one where he has the one and only Nas. And that seems to be, I'm thinking that's gonna be a pretty popular track because it's capturing everyone, the ladies, all that good stuff. The Mobb Against the World, that's a great way to like bring them back.
The one that I like the most out of that album is Clear Black Night featuring Raekwon and Ghostface. You gotta check that one out. That one to me is the one. That's the one I'm like, yo, this is another one in the canon for Mobb Deep and Ray and Ghost for that matter. This brother came through with a whole box, so I got more episodes I gotta knock out with the brother. Keep it locked with us. Peace.